come on in and join us.
We have the sequel to one of our absolute favorites today from Hoffman's Grooming.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop here. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why, come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack. Cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we would like to talk about the shave stick from Hoffman's.
Y'all, the Hoff sent this out for free a couple of months ago to review, and it has become one of my favorite things in the den. Not only is it great for a convenient shave, especially when you're traveling, but y'all know that moment when you're done shaving and you already washed out your bowl and brush and you do this. Aw, man, I got a big old patch right here that's gonna bother me for the next 2 days. Well, you just grab this, little of that on there, the razor, whoosh, and you are done and ready to face the day. And what is our soap today?
So I'm a giant fan of Evil Pumpkin. That's probably one of the ones for fall that I wear the most. So to see that there was an Evil Pumpkin 2 snuck into our last box from Hoffman, I'm so excited to meet this soap.
All right, y'all, from the sales page at hoffmansgrooming.com.
Limited Halloween edition. Evil Pumpkin has become a staple of Hoffman's. Well, we wanted to extend that tradition with Evil Pumpkin 2, a completely different animal than the OG.
And y'all sent notes of pumpkin, got it, bourbon, got it, and fougere.
Huh?
Fougere meaning fern, something mossy, something green, think brute. Y'all, who knows where this evil pumpkin's gonna take us tonight, but we are on board. Come along with us while we open the box. All right, y'all, this is how they come from Hoffman's Grooming. Now, we bought Road Trip. You did not see that. That's for an upcoming episode. And as soon as your girl here saw the set notes for Purple Hollow, she hit purchase immediately, and there might be a matching EDP for that one. But you did see this that we were equally surprised by because the Hoff snuck it into our box for free to review. Thank you, buddy. And of course, because it's a Hoffman package, there is a note and there's candy. Thanks, buddy. Your peppermint patties. Much love, the Hoff. Well, much love right back. And we are so excited to experience this little mischievous character when we have your first impression. All right, y'all, we have the original Evil Pumpkin on hand for a comparison in a few minutes, and it is time for your first impression. I'm so excited.
Okay, let's see. All right. Well, a little darker pour, maybe.
I'll keep my nose closed.
Okay, yeah.
All right, take it in. So curious how green this gets.
Okay, so where Evil Pumpkin goes sweeter and more cinnamon-y, this one has a little more of the evil side coming through. Oh. So a little more of like a little dankier thing, and like in the spooky holiday way, like in a good way. So putting them next to each other, that one is much more kind of gourmandy, I would say. This one is a little more like the actual pumpkin guts of the pumpkin side coming out.
I love pumpkin guts, and this would not be the first time we saw them in a set note.
So they are still pretty here on their own, and it's almost like the pumpkin seed, if that could be like a nut kind of a side. There's something nutty about this coming out. I don't know exactly where the bourbon portion takes over, but that might be where the fougere part is actually kind of making things move a little bit for me.
Ooh, we used to roast pumpkin seeds. Put it in the comments.
I feel like it's something like that. I don't know, but something kind of came through as a little more of a nuttiness, and that's what I'm guessing.
Well, you slay the pumpkin and you cook its guts, don't you? That's called vanquishing. Well, how do you get the fougere-ness?
It's not the fougere I was expecting. It might be more of like the amber side or something like that, because I'm not getting much of the ferny side of the fougere, like the green stuff coming through. So let me dive back in. So the deeper sides of the bourbon almost come across a little more of like a molasses. Not maple syrup and super sweet, but there's something kind of savory and a little sweeter about the bourbon than I was expecting. Like, it's much more attractive here. I don't normally enjoy the bourbon hits when they come across. But it's being used in a very kind of secretive way here. I really got more molasses than I did bourbon. And then I was like, oh wait, the list said bourbon. So there must be something about the spices with that are adding just a little kind of deeper sweet action.
On her YouTube channel, Sarah McCartney calls it bourbon.
Oh,
and
fancy.
it's delightful. So the classic fougere accord is lavender, geranium, and oak moss. How are you getting those in there? Or is it more of like a new modern fougere?
I think it's modern because I usually can detect pretty quick if an oak moss is in here. And if it's in here, it is so far in the woods, I can't really even find it.
Oh, good. Oak moss and I are not the best of friends all the time.
So modern fougeres go more towards the woods and spices. I think that's where the magic is happening with this one because
Gotcha.
I don't get an image of something green. I think it's just adding a little bit more depth to what's going on with the actual pumpkin and bourbon that's in here.
Right.
I think there might be a floral in there somewhere. So that's adding a little bit more of a cleanliness. So you can see where the darker sides of the bourbon and I think some of the spices actually hit. And then something about, if there could be such thing as a pumpkin flower, like there's something that's still in the lane that we're in, but it's almost like if the plant itself had a floral on it, that's about as pretty as it gets.
Right. Is it a little like Market Days that had like the tomato vine and stuff in it from McDuff's?
No, because that's more green to me and more herby.
Gotcha.
This is more like the spices and the woods, I think.
So sounds like maybe not a classic fougere, not greeny at all.
No, which I'm enjoying. I like what it's doing here. It's just kind of more intriguing to figure out how it's being done.
Right. Brut is a pretty classic fougere, y'all, if you need a lane.
I'm not sure how, but there's a part of this that is giving me hardcore deja vu. When I was a kid and I would eat like pirate's booty or chips or something, and you have that leftover little thing on your fingers, like there's something in it that I feel like I'm in the kitchen. I don't know why. It's not gourmandy, but somehow there's something else that's at this evil party that I'm not sure how to hang out with. But I only get it if my nose is in the precise location. On one side, it's not there. On the other side, I can kind of find it. So it's like a search and find.
You've heard of Where's Waldo? Where's Pirate Booty?
I want to say this is still gourmandy, but it's more pretty, where I feel like Evil Pumpkin plays off those darker spices and it kind of goes more into the gourmandy in that lane. This is a lighter, brighter side somehow.
This thing makes me hungry for cookies.
I would reach for these for completely different reasons.
Oh.
Like this is more the cozy spices, deeper, not danker, but there's just depth to this scent. This stays more in like a mid kind of range and up.
Oh.
So that goes deeper. This I actually would probably put on more like daytime, I think, for some reason. This one's more of a nighttime evening thing for me. But if you're not a fan of cinnamon, if that's a big turnoff for you, because that's in here,
right.
I don't get that here.
Oh, okay.
So the spices are done differently. I think it's more the woods or something else that's coming out. Maybe again, like the bourbon side of the spices. So it's not as cinnamon forward. If you're nervous about this, this may be your friend.
If you do like cinnamon, this is probably my favorite cinnamon in our entire collection.
You know, this might have like a frosting on it. This might have like a pumpkin cake frosting, something. I don't know. I'm getting whiffs of like, it's getting sweet, but it doesn't go too far.
Right.
It doesn't go candy mode, but there's something in here, and maybe a little bit of it like a vanilla frosting-ish something, not like tonic. So I'm thinking it's more the whipped creamy, I don't know, something in there. It's fun. I gotta say, I'd hang out at this Halloween party. It's not that evil.
I want to go to this
see
Halloween
what you
party and
think.
see what I can find. Okay, now
Help me out with the
just
fougere.
smelled that one.
Yeah.
Right, let me see if there's something ferny that jumps out. at
Okay.
me, what I get from this. Okay, here we go. Taking it in. Oh, that's fascinating.
Not what you're expecting, huh?
I would say they're actually common at their core.
Okay.
Maybe the same pumpkin cinnamon blend accord in the middle. But then where they go from there is vastly different. This one goes as far indoors as you could possibly imagine. A warm kitchen where there are pumpkin muffins baking and there's a pumpkin jack-o'-lantern in the window. It might be snowing outside, but it's 90 degrees in here.
Somehow it has like a coziness to me.
Absolutely. This? I know Hoff had said that the original was sort of his homage to It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Oh, right.
But I think there's a reason that My Better Angels made me play the theme to that at the beginning. That one's indoors. That's the party that they're having where they make Charlie Brown be the model. Y'all, look at my face. If you want to spend the evening with Linus in the pumpkin patch,
There you go.
that's what this is. This brings the pumpkin vines. This brings that outdoor cool breeze into the equation. Now, I love that they're the same core because we're not kidding about that. Evil Pumpkin's in our top 10.
Yeah.
Both of us, like on our whole collection.
It stayed there.
But I love that this is enough of a divergence where I would need both of them.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing this one next Halloween night just because of that outdoor sense. And what's lovely, it almost approaches squinchy the way that a pumpkin vine would, but then it takes a hard turn, and that perfuming makes it absolutely green and beautiful and subtle. It's a pumpkin fougere, not a pumpkin fougere.
Yeah, no.
Right?
Because usually fougères are super bossy. Like, it's weird for me that I have to dig to find it.
And you're so smart. One of the first things out of your mouth was like a nuttiness of the pumpkin seeds. Look at my face. That is exactly what's in here. And 2 years ago, I didn't even eat them. I just made her roast pumpkin seeds so we could smell them in the apartment. That's what this has got inside of it. Whoa! Hold on. I have to decide which one I like better. Okay, hold on. Our gourmand hound came over. She normally doesn't join us halfway through the episode, and she's out in her trailer, but she smelled this and came running. It's hitting that same place where, like, peanut butter banana from EAA hit me, but it's not peanut butter. It is pumpkin seed. Even a little bit of the nutmeg spices on them. Hoff, this is beautiful.
It is still on sale. As of today, we're filming, and you can still get the full trifecta if you want.
And I guess this is the good news. They're really only, they're really only about 40% different for me, but it's within those differences that the details are amazing. And let me dive in again. You're right, for the bourbon, because I'm not getting it like as a bourbon spice. Yeah. I'm getting it more as like a heat kind of thing. Like you're sensing something warm going on inside from being out here in the pumpkin patch. Hold on.
Maybe you took a sip of the bourbon?
Right. Maybe Linus has a flask. That's what it is. Well, he's got to stay warm out there in the pumpkin patch. It gets very cold.
Waiting all day.
It's funny. I bet if we had our friend John smell this, because he's a nag, not a gourmand guy, he would say that's absolutely a gourmand. But having smelled this first and then kind of backing into this one, it's way less gourmandy for me, and it has way more going on. I love the idea of that fougere being more woody, more chypre-y, more cold air than it is ferny or green. I think it stops at that vague idea of pumpkin vines.
Fougères to me always make me, I don't know if I'm going to like it. I get a little nervous, but the way that it's done here, I don't even get hit in the face at that part.
I don't even think there's oak moss within a country mile of this pumpkin patch, just between you and me. And what's lovely? Those kind of high, sweet, syrupy spices that are kind of moving in with the evening fog are not unrelated to a couple of beautiful aftershaves from the 50s and 60s that we have smells. Take a little whiff. See if you get those in the very high notes. Something almost latent-ish. You know what I mean?
It's hinting at those. I see what you're saying. Am I crazy, or is there maybe a bag of Pirate's Booty somewhere around this pumpkin?
The Pirate Booty. Please hold. Your nose is very good. There is one tiny, tiny hint that I'm getting in here that I also got from the last Ringmaster. And it might just be a tiny wisp of that crackly kettle corn that the last Ringmaster is under the surface of that. And it's giving me that sense of like corn chipness.
I can see that.
Is that what it is?
Maybe. That might be part of it. I wonder.
So there's kettle corn at the party inside with Lucy. And it is delightfully unisex because it was not just Linus in the pumpkin patch. He recruited Sally, and boy, was she mad.
Do you get the almost molasses-y portion or a little bit of the frosting going on?
Yes. The molasses almost like a gingerbread. Yeah. Sort of a spice in here. And the frosting is this beautiful, just like powdered sugary essence over the top that doesn't go too sweet.
No.
But is sort of lactonic.
Maybe just like a glazed donut.
Right.
Like there's just a little something very in the back.
Right.
No doughiness with it, but just, again, that you're having fun at this little Halloween party.
Well, y'all get your pens and paper handy because we're going to write our letters to the Great Pumpkin and build a lather and look at these scent notes. All right, y'all, back to the sales page at hoffmansgrooming.com. We got 3 scent notes. We're going to attack them one at a time. So how do you get the pumpkin? Let's review.
It is similar to the pumpkin that's in the OG Evil Pumpkin, but other things have happened to it. Like there's something about like the pumpkin flesh or like something more real about the actual pumpkin that's in here, I think.
And I think the bourbon is actually a vanilla bourbon because the vanilla extract I grew up with was a bourbon. See if you get a tiny hint of that little bit of that vanilla in there that might be hitting a little bit of coumarin inside of a fougere-ness in here. Do you get a little bit of like a hay note? Is there coumarin? Is there geranium? Geranium might be the floral that we're getting.
There is a light color that my brain sees, and I am outdoors. So it could be any of those that you mentioned. I'm not sure how they're actually coming through scent-wise, but it's taking me to more of that location.
I'm taking that as a win. And then fougere. We decided this is not very ferny. This is not brute-ish in that sense. It's not very mossy. It's not very Irish mouse. kind of thing. It's not very oak mossy, but it does have that nutty white wood edge that the modern fougères have, and maybe a touch of amber at its center.
So that's where it totally blends great with the pumpkin and the bourbon. So if you can picture it, not a green fougere, but more of like an amber fougere-ish, I feel like that's where these really blend. And it kind of brings a little dapperness to it. Like, I feel like Evil Pumpkin, if you walk into a room, is very obvious that you're wearing more of that cinnamon, gourmandy kind of fun side. This one could kind of blend a little bit more crowd-pleasing if there's not gourmand hounds at your location.
If you wear this to work, they're going to 100% think you were up baking stuff all night.
Yep.
But this, no.
But it's kind of a little secret on your shoulder. It does have just enough of that pumpkin fun. I do feel like you could wear this more than just fall somehow, and I think there's other parts with the fougere that are helping that.
Did the color of pumpkin inspire your brush and bowl choice? Where did you get these fabulous pieces of artwork?
This is my Ollyworks new set, and you get to see it in action in just a moment.
Yeah, y'all, this is the Crater Bowl to go along with the Meteorite Razor and the Asteroid Brush. Now, here's the funny thing about this bowl. For the first 2 minutes, you're going to think it's broken. For the first 2 minutes, there's not going to be much of a lather, especially when combined with this brush. But here's the thing. Just about the time your favorite song ends, this bowl explodes and the lather man cometh, and it just overflows. I'm going to put a little bit more on the bottom as well as on the sides.
It does have nice little indents and grooves on it, too.
Love it. Little water from Sean and Julie.
Oh, I'm getting more of the Evil Pumpkin side now that you smashed it.
I was going to say the original.
All right, so adding water, we're going to see what changes even more. Taking our dry brush onto the soap here and starting to go one direction, other direction, getting it into those little grooves, and then I'm going to turn the brush.
I'm going to find you. I'm going to get you.
And I'm going to turn it, same thing, getting it out of all those little divots. And then we're going to dive down and take that soap on the brush into a little water here.
But see how it looks like you dropped your ivory soap into a bubble bath like there's no bubbles left? Well, wait a minute.
All right, I'll try not to spill on the dog here.
She won't mind this one.
Get the water onto those bristles. And it is waking up a little bit over here. Even scent-wise, I'm getting a lot more layers to this. I can feel where it's separating a little more than just the Evil Pumpkin.
It's one of 3 episodes where she came over and asked to be part of it halfway through. Yeah, see, look, it's almost like it's being a little stingy with the lather because we're still approaching that 3-minute mark.
So if you really push down, it takes it away, I've noticed. But if you just let the weight of the brush, because it's kind of heavy, ride the edges of the bowl, it does actually show off the soap a little bit more. So if you want it to magically look like it's erasing the soap, push down. If you don't, let it just kind of daintily go around. But this is a wonderful lather, my
look
friends.
At that now. Holy
moly, look at that.
Beautiful.
That nuttiness kind of creaminess thing. Not like tonic. Maybe it's just a nutty creaminess, but something in the middle of this just keeps this a little brighter. Like I feel like the sun may be just still up a little bit.
Right. And this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the Sometimes Sequels Are Better with 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh. This might be The Godfather Part 2. It might be. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, maybe. Yeah. And I love that vanilla. I am putting my flag in that. There's a little bit of vanilla inside the bourbon.
I think there might be a little of that amberness coming through. Like, that's how it's blending from the bourbon into the fougere and pumpkin side.
That's what's taking it outside for me. That's why it's not the indoor Halloween party. That's why I'm out in the patch.
It doesn't go crazy spooky or anything.
No.
So you're not scared to be at this location.
Right.
But it's
dank.
just still that time of year.
Right. And y'all, one of our friends just started a brand new channel, Rabbit Shaves. For noobs, by noobs. Go check it out. And while we do love watching shaving on YouTube, we don't do it here in the Barbershop Duet. We realize you might like to see
he lost a rabbit tail.
what this lather looks like when it coats and covers Money Man. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah?
Wait a minute. This is doing some new...
It's spreading out. There's like
stuff.
new layers in there.
Wait. Whoa! I'm getting more of both sides. I'm getting a little bit more of the fougere, not intensity, but like new layers.
Yeah.
And a little bit new layers to the bourbon pumpkin side, too. This is lovely. Here, take this in and think of the pumpkin seeds.
Okay.
Like a sweet pumpkin seed that's been roasted.
Right. It's almost less floral now. That in-between part is kind of talking a little more to me.
There is a little geranium in here from the fougere. Maybe that's the part that stayed. Woo!
I would still reach for these for such different reasons. It is worth having both. I'm glad Hoff gave us the little push to see what this bad boy is about.
And the next time he's got a Crazy Eddie sale, if this EDP is anywhere near that page, I'm picking it up. All right, y'all, well, come along with us. We're going to go a little bit deeper into the patch.
I have to say, smelling this now, I wouldn't say it has to be a Halloween soap only.
Right.
There's something in it, like if I hadn't read limited edition Halloween, I don't know if I would know right away that it was. Nope. So somehow the pumpkin isn't making it stick in that lane. Right. It is making it still more versatile.
But definitely autumnal. I can see where this shares a lane with Market Days, but that's in the spring. Mm-hmm. This is definitively in the fall. The bourbon helps a little bit with that. The spices inside the pumpkin, of course, helps with that. But you know what? I love this because autumn's my favorite time of year. And right now, we're about as far away from autumn as you can possibly get. So sometimes on those cold evenings, I like to pretend that it's late September, and things like this will really help whisk me away.
I do have to say, I would still probably reach for Evil Pumpkin first. But it's nice to have this as another option because Evil Pumpkin is a very specific lane. It does have that cozy kind of gourmandy cinnamon-esque thing that sticks with you. So if you are someone that doesn't like that throughout the whole day, if that gets a little pokey, this more Evil Pumpkin 2 action might be your jam.
I honestly am not sure which one's my favorite. I think I love this one more only because I've loved it longer.
That makes sense.
I think the more I get to know this one, the more I'll love it. But you know what's funny? When we first got this and I saw Evil Pumpkin, it was at the very beginning of our journey. We had maybe 8-10 soaps in the cabinet, and a couple of them were pretty dank. Sonnet Lumiere from Declaration Grooming right out of the box. So when I saw Evil Pumpkin, I really thought this was going to go dark, dank, evil, birch tar, oud, smoke, fear. And if you watch our episode where I smell it, I'm like, holy crap. This is just all of my beautiful childhood memories baked into a shaving soap. And this one just lets them grow up enough so maybe I'm a teenager at Halloween rather than an 8-year-old. Yeah. But all of that mystery and wonder and beauty is in both. There's nothing really evil in either of these smokes. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be 6-year-old Kathy Steinberg, who's doing the voice of Sally in You're the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Well, you're going to have a loose tooth in the middle of the night and realize that if it falls out, those 3 lines you have left to record are not going to sound like the others. So your mom's going to call the producers. They're going to open Sunset Sound Studio in Hollywood at 3 o'clock in the morning so they can rush this little girl down and record those last 3 lines. And thank God they did, because the tooth came out at breakfast and she got her own. So head over to hoffmansgrooming.com where you'll find this and a ton of other stuff I want right now.
Back from my shave with Evil Pumpkin 2, and I gotta say, this Hoffman's base is trusty. There's something about this one, once you lathered it up, that a butterscotchy thing really came out for me as I spent more time with the lather. I gotta say, I'm gonna use this year-round. It is not that evil. It's kind of friendly, in my opinion. Thank you so much, Hoff, for sneaking this in the box for us, and we'll be back for more soon.
Hey, welcome to Messages.
So for our February giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get a soap from Katie's Bubble.
Yeah, y'all, any soap from their premium line. It's sponsored by Chris Cullen himself. Thank you, buddy. And all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email here to WeSentYou at thebarbershopduet.com so we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways. And then check back here on our first March episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
If this had been any further from this, I would have been sad.
I'm with you.
But this is just different enough to make me fall in love with it for an entirely new reason. And that's what I think sequels do best.
And I gotta say, this base is a very good base. We go back to it all the time.
Y'all.
So I like having different varieties of scents within this base because it's a trusty friend to go back to.
If I ever have a new razor or blade I want to try out, I will very often reach for a Hoffman soap because I know it and it's so trusty from the very beginning.
I actually shaved with Joker Jr. last night, and I gotta say, the apple zesty, spicy fun side just had me smiling the whole time.
And the EDP, She Wore to Bed, made me a very happy man. Hey, Hoff, thank you so much for sending this out for free to review and believing in our little show. We sure believe in you.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.